What's up, everybody, and welcome into a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. I'm Matt, that's Dan, that's Ash.
Hello.
It is Uncharted 4 Eve.
It is. Ooh.
I'm excited.
It is good.
We all have the day off to be playing it. We will be, just a little heads up before we get into this show, over the next few days on this channel we will have a conversation which will be pre-release conversation, Naughty Dog Uncharted-ness. Which means we'll talk about why we're excited for the game, our favourite Uncharted memories, trophies, etc, etc. And then, so that will be Wednesday. And then just the following Wednesday, so after a week the game's been out, we'll do a full spoiler of everything. So, there we go. This show, anyway, is our weekly news show that we do, where the three of us get together and we discuss the latest and greatest stories from the video game industry. We'll then also talk about the new game releases for that week before each picking our favourite game of the week. So if you are a fan of video games, conversations, news, let's plays, Uncharted, you know where to follow us. TheGamerInitiative.com. The link is down below. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I can already pick our game of the weeks for next week.
Yeah.
But right, let's get straight into the news. So on last week's show, we talked about the rumours of Call of Duty and what the next one might be, and how you watch this, they'll announce it the day that they get videos after we've recorded. And sure enough, what happened?
Yeah.
They announced it. So Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is a real thing. It's going to be in space.
Terrible name.
Still a terrible name. Placeholder name, you said, Dan, I think was your...
That's because it's so bad.
It's like, they can't possibly have that name. But no, that is
How can
real.
Infinity Ward go with Infinite Warfare?
Well, because it's in space, and space is infinite.
Yeah.
I agree, it's a bad name.
Yeah.
But we are getting the Modern Warfare Remastered in the package, which a lot of people...
Yeah, we sort of
We talked about
expected,
that last
and
week.
that was rumoured, wasn't it?
But the big thing that's come out of this is that they're not going to be sold separately. And the internet got very angry about this.
I don't know. I mean, I think if they're not...
I think as
if
well.
you're not paying anything more for it...
Well,
Well,
it is.
you
It's
are.
an extra $20.
Yeah,
Half or probably an extra
it's,
10 quid,
if you
15
want the
quid.
remastered, you have to buy like one of the special editions of Infinite Warfare. It's not like it won't come with the bog standard game,
Okay.
so you have to get
It's
one
the
of
deluxe
one of
edition,
the
I think.
super editions,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Oh, well.
So it is an extra 50... Rather than being 50 quid, it'll probably be like 65 quid.
But interestingly, it's both the single player and the multiplayer.
Yeah, which is good.
But this is the thing we did talk about. It's like, I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
I was listening to. It's like, would you take away people from your own multiplayer game? As in, like, Infinite Warfare. This is clearly where they want to move traffic. Every new Call of Duty, you want to move your multiplayer traffic there.
Yeah.
Would you put your competition for yourself? For
Well,
those
the point is, I suppose, at the end of the day, they just want people to buy their games.
Yeah, of course.
I'm pretty sure they couldn't care less if people are playing on Black Ops or Infinite Warfare or Modern Warfare. As long as people are buying Call of Duty stuff, they're going to be happy. And the people who bought this game are going to be playing Modern Warfare and also will have Infinite Warfare.
I don't know how well the remastered will do, considering the fact it's being tacked on as a special edition version of another game.
No.
Because it's an old game.
It is an old game. It does look better. You'll see on the screen, if I haven't already done so, there was a quick video with graphics comparison. So yeah, it does. Surprisingly enough, as a 9-year-old game, it has been improved.
You would think so.
But yeah, it's now the reveal trailer for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is currently, I say currently because who knows what else could go up in the next day or two, but the most disliked video game YouTube trailer of all time.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because everyone's like, oh, every year you give us the same old shooter bullshit, blah, 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 blah. And then they try to be different. They put it in space like, oh, why are you going into space? This isn't Call of Duty. This just looks like Halo, blah, 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 bullshit.
Well, it's a lot of people are just...
And I think a lot of people are
It's just fun for them to rip on
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But it happens every year, if you have a look at the numbers.
It'll still be one of the top 5 selling games of the year.
Yeah.
Of course. It's it's like FIFA, it's like Madden, any sports game, things like, oh, same old thing, screw you, I'll buy it anyway.
Yeah.
I've like, one of the videos I was watching was like, the comment was, this is a piling or hot pile of garbage that I'll still buy anyway.
But it's, yeah, the CEO did point out that actually prior to this, the most disliked video trailer was Black Ops 3, which then went on to be the best-selling in the franchise. So people can't be that angry about it.
Exactly.
The reason we talk about Call of Duty moving into actually more of kind of this week's news now is that one announcement which we didn't miss was the new Battlefield announcement. That was made just last Friday, which will obviously be coming out to rival Call of Duty, and it has possibly an even worse name than Infinite Warfare. I don't know, I'll let you guys vote on this. Battlefield 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's poor.
It is worse?
It's not great. I think I know why they've done it, and again, this is based off sort of things that I've been hearing, is the fact that they want people to be interested in it again. And, you know, if you say, oh, it's number 5 in the series, what if people were calling it before the game was actually announced? If it's just, oh, it's the 5th one in the series, who cares? There's been more of them before. It's like, you have less interest. If it's like, it's the first, everyone goes, ooh. People who know about these things are obviously like Battlefield heard about it.
Yeah.
Whereas like new people, it's like, this is a new thing.
Yeah,
I think
it's more going back
some
to World
people-
War One.
I think because it's because it's set in World War One.
I know that as well,
Yeah.
but this is another thing.
Because obviously the original Battlefield was called Battlefield 1942.
Well, yeah, they could have called it 1916
Yeah, true.
or 17
would have been a
or
better
18.
name.
But like, you know,
Whatever.
Uncharted was not called Uncharted 1. You know, Infamous was not called Infamous 1.
No, but it's on the same lines of thinking about the Xbox One style thing.
Well, that's because it's an all-in-one entertainment system.
Anyway, I think we've debated the whole.
I think we can all unanimously
names.
agree it's a poor name.
It is a poor
Of
name.
course it is.
You know, for one reason or another. But yeah, this is World War One, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go back to old school weapons.
Yeah, you see some melee weapons. So there's a part in the trailer where there's like some swords. You see someone get beaten over the head with like a
Mace, a trench mace.
trench mace, and also
Or club.
even I think pretty sure someone hit someone with a shovel at one point in the trailer as well.
Yeah, mud in the face.
Yeah.
You see the horses. You
Yeah,
can see
it's
some
taking-
planes, tanks, and even a zeppelin at the end.
Yeah, it's taking itself all over where World War One was fought. So it's not just like that mile of land that was fought over for 4 years.
Yeah.
So
kind of
there
thing.
is going to be. It's not going to be the old school World War II games. We saw actual iconic events that happened. You know, like the storm on like Normandy and stuff like that. With this is going to be, from my understanding, a slightly alternate history because, like you said, a real world World War One shooter would just be you sitting in a trench.
A lot of trench warfare. I mean, that obviously wasn't everything because it was taking place in other than just Belgium, which is basically where most of the European stuff was fought. And it's gonna. I was really like hearing about the campaign is supposedly going to follow a few different soldiers around, like in the vein of like the Call of Duty games, the way you would jump around from like places, so you can experience the different areas and so on. And I guess they're just going to have a few different things happen that maybe didn't happen so much in World War One itself, just to vary it up. Because Private Smith stuck in the trench every single time is not going to be that.
It doesn't make for good viewing or gaming, does it? So yeah, you do want a bit of variation.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Like, you really liked the last Battlefield, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I did really like the last Battlefield. I played it a lot. I didn't play much of 4, but Hardline I enjoyed.
The interesting thing that I was hearing was that for like multiplayer stuff, in terms of like the vehicles that are available, like all the different tanks and so on, is because World War One was basically where they all started, and like there was no uniform control systems or designs or anything like that. Is apparently the controls are all going to differ tank to tank.
That's cool.
So it's like you're going to learn how to maybe manipulate the British tanks, and then if you play a different map or whatever, different country, and you jump into the French one, it's going to work differently. And they're talking like the size.
It's going to be left-hand drive.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll have to turn your control upside down in order to be able to use it. Or something.
Excusez-moi, monsieur, you do not have your warning triangle in your boot.
So
the best accent.
There's a load of people in town that could do better accents than that at the moment.
I know. That'd be interesting. And like,
so yeah, World War
also
One.
it's like, again, speculation. Nothing's confirmed yet because they've been very coy about.
Yeah,
what
but
they
all
want
we know is
to
basically
reveal.
that it's coming, and we've
But
seen the trailer.
There's potential that because of the size of some of these tanks that it can carry a full squad and so on, and like you might even have individual duties with the tank.
I'm excited
So
to
one
see.
will be driving, one might be firing, like things like that. And it's like,
That's the thing I'm excited to see is like what kind of risks would they take in the multiplayer front.
yeah.
That will be interesting. We do know that more information will be coming, almost certainly at E3 as part of EA's events that they'll be holding. We know a beta is coming later on this year, which is not a huge surprise whatsoever. It's kind of like a given now for all of these games.
Yeah.
We also know there's going to be a super expensive collector's edition, because all games get these now.
Why not?
$220, so probably like 150, 160 quid. You're going to get a 14-inch statue of a soldier, which looks fine. Get a pack of playing cards, a steelbook standard, some kind of cloth propaganda poster, a little sew-on patch, and a mini kind of messenger tube, which actually has a little scroll in it, which is just your DLC codes.
I read that as messenger lube.
No.
Tube, yes.
No, I definitely got it right.
So lube up the messenger.
So we now have our big 2 shooters for the year. More will come about that, but I think of the 2, I am probably more excited about Battlefield. At the moment, I'm actually thinking I might buy both this year, depending on how they review. I'll wait for the review.
I like that we've got this contrast between very different.
Yeah, I do like the fact that one's gone very much the opposite.
Yeah,
of the other.
we've got one at this end of the spectrum and this at this end, so it's quite nice to have that contrast this year.
It's good. Let's do some more speculation and rumours following
why not?
Dan's speculation about what the Battlefield's going to be. Let's speculate about what Sucker Punch are going to be doing next. So these are the Sony-owned studio who are famous for the infamous games that have been on PS3 and then PS4. We know a new game is in the work from the studio. We don't know what it is. We talked, was it last week?
Yeah, very recently.
That I said that I don't think they're going to be doing another Infamous. I think Infamous will live on, but not necessarily in this studio.
Oh, we were talking about our favourite studios and things.
Was it in that conversation?
Yeah,
that was
party
chat.
That was last week, yeah. So there's an interesting timeline going on here that leads us to believe that maybe we know that their next game could actually be a Spider-Man game. So there was a... Wait a minute. I'm going to give... Now, there was a tweet from an account called NerdLeaks, who have been known to be a reliable kind of source of inside information in the past, basically saying that Sony is working on an untitled Spider-Man PS4 project. And then 2 weeks ago, so that was 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we saw Amazon listing for a new Infamous game, or a remaster called the Lightning Edition, and there was a little sticker on it, supposedly, we see like on the Xbox one where it's like Skate 2 included, stuff like that. So this said that it was going to include a Spider-Man demo, which I don't really believe that one too much, because no one includes demos in their games anymore. That's last gen.
Yeah.
No one does that anymore. But then recently, this week, technically last week now because of the Monday, there was a CV for a Blur Studios stuntman, Stephen Oyoung. So Blur Studios is one of the top companies that does kind of all of the capturing and stuff. They're very well known in the industry. His CV allegedly says that he was doing some work, some video capture or motion capture work as the lead for an, quote, untitled Spider-Man 4 project. So you put all of these together, maybe it is something that Sucker Punch could be working on. Now, the reason why I think that maybe they could be doing on is they've just been making the third-person open-world superhero game. So they are the studio that's maybe most ready to be able to make the game. Yeah. Whether or not that's what they want to do, whether or not it's a good idea, that remains to be seen. I think it would be good because we haven't had a good Spider-Man game in a long, long time.
Have we actually had a good
Spider-Man 2? Spider-Man 2 was the jam back in the day. Like when that first brought in the swinging through the streets of New York, and like at the time it was like, wow, that's amazing. Like the side quests were repetitive as hell, but yeah, that game was awesome. Recent ones have been less good, to put it politely.
Kind of like the films.
Yeah, but. So obviously Sony holds the licensing for Spider-Man for movies. I assume this extends on to video games now because Activision did have it, but that expired recently. That's why they had to churn out Amazing Spider-Man 2 so quickly, because their license deal was expiring, and that's probably why Didn't you say that it was exactly the same as the first game, but they managed to make it worse?
Yeah, I was just having a quick check as to which one I really liked and which one I really did not like.
See, I think you liked The Amazing Spider-Man. You thought that was a good fun game. You platinumed that one.
Yeah, that was.
And then you bought Amazing Spider-Man 2 off the back of it, and you said it was exactly the same, but actually managed to make it worse.
You're absolutely right. The Amazing Spider-Man, so the first one, absolutely loved it, platinumed it, thought it was a great game. The second one was literally identical.
But worse.
But worse.
And 3 years later or something.
And it was not good. The thing is, I do like the Spider-Man games. It's one of the few games where what you expect is what you get normally. Swinging, you can do this. All of the things that Spider-Man can do, you generally can do. It's good, and it does transform well into the game if done properly. And I think, if Sucker Punch are the people to be doing this, great. They have got, as you said, that sort of CV, if you like, of doing Infamous and having that sort of superhero open world sort of thing. Mm-hmm. They would be able to do it really well. So if anybody was to do it, I think they would do it well. I don't know. I've just had my sort of fingers burned, I think, with Spider-Man games of late, and I don't know.
Yeah, but I think
low expectations.
You got to look at. You don't look at. It's not because it's a Spider-Man game that it was bad. It was bad because of the rushed development.
Yeah.
I think if Sucker Punch did make one, then it would be, good because they make great games. You could look even if it was they wouldn't do it, but even if it was a lazy job of just taking Second Son and putting a Spider-Man skin on it,
exactly,
it's still going to be a good game because Second Son was a good game.
Yeah. I think that the problem, that the mistake that that they've made in the past with too many of these games, not just Spider-Man but others, is that they've got this sort of movie alongside it, and they try to incorporate the story of the movie into the game, and it's actually been detrimental to the game and the story of the game.
Superhero games should never try and actually just replicate the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where it falls down.
It is.
We see
because at the end, again, superhero movies only work well if the superhero actually has a decent villain to play off against.
Yeah.
And if the movie doesn't have a decent villain, don't stick that crappy villain into the game, because then the game doesn't work.
There aren't that
many. It's also...
It's why Superman always fails.
Well, Superman fails as a game because you can't die.
No, but that's for one, but as in, even the movies don't do that well, because at the end of the day, apart from if there's this lump of green space rock, nothing can stop him.
That's why a lot of people don't buy into Superman, because it's like, well, he's invincible, basically.
Yeah, but that's why that franchise as a whole doesn't work. It's like Spider-Man's got some great enemies, but he's also got some really crap ones.
But if you're going to
pick the good ones.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. If you allow Sucker Punch to have free reign, and basically not have to follow any of the movies, not even necessarily have to follow any of the comic book storylines. They could come up with their completely own story, obviously have the foundations. You don't want to piss off the fans too much.
Just don't make it an Origins game.
Well, no, I don't think they would make it.
No, but my point...
Do you reckon they would?
No, but I hope they wouldn't, but this is enough. I've seen Peter Parker start as a high schooler so many times and things now. It's now. I get it. I know how he got his powers.
I think in hindsight, the way a video game works, Origins work well in a video game because you basically start off with some powers and you get stronger. That's how a progression video game works. That's how all games work. So an origin story, whilst not necessarily exciting to us, it lends itself to a video game progression.
I know what you're saying there.
Yeah.
What I'd really like to see, and again, this is not going to happen because Sucker Punch don't want to make the same game again. But Infamous, we have the good bad thing.
Yeah.
I like them to incorporate a Venom storyline. You could have the good bad thing there.
I did like that.
And then do you end the game as Venom or do you end the game as...
What would actually be a good way is, without delving too much into the comic book stuff, is actually have it so that if you're choosing to use the Venom suit, it will actually start skewing you towards the bad side, in the sense of it starts robbing you of Peter Parker's goodness. Which is kind of what happened at a point during the comics and the animated show and everything like that.
Yeah.
It'd be really good.
Stuff as a kid.
Now, I mean,
if Sucker Punch want ideas, you know where to find us.
I think it'd be really good though, because I think behind Naughty Dog they are the best studio. at Sony, personally. But everyone, if you said Naughty Dog to anyone in the street, they'd be like, oh, Crash Bandicoot or maybe Uncharted. Everyone knows that name. People don't really know Sucker Punch. People know, some people know Infamous, but it's not, in terms of scale.
They've not had much outside of that, have they, really?
Yeah, but it's just, as well, Infamous doesn't sell as well as these other games.
Yeah.
Whereas you sell a Spider-Man game, that's going to make their name, if it's good, which hopefully it would be, that's going to kind of set their name onto like another level. They'll move up there. So it would be good for them. It's just whether or not it's true, I don't know. It's speculation for now.
It is.
We shall see. We shall move on because we could go down even further down this rabbit hole if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Next up, we have another Star Wars game in the works.
Close.
They're basically the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. Forgive me, Star Wars fans. Respawn Entertainment, the developers behind Titanfall. We knew they had another game in the works. We talked about it at some point on a show, saying they had a second third-person game. That third-person game is a Star Wars game because we don't have enough Star Wars games coming up.
Yeah.
No.
This studio is being led by the former God of War director. Someone with a real pedigree behind kind of third-person action games. So we've got Respawn with... Those are basically the original Infinity Ward guys. They made Modern Warfare as well, and they made Titanfall. So you get the speed and the movement of those guys. They had good storytelling. You've got this guy. This could be a good game.
There was some talk that this would somehow resurrect the cancelled Force Unleashed 3.
Yeah. I think that's...
It's the same vein of game that... they could end up bringing out, but I don't think it will continue with that.
I don't think it'll be
because as with everything else, when Disney bought Star Wars, that was part of the old expanded universe canon,
which no longer exists.
We assume that has been wiped as well.
All canon's being destroyed, basically.
Yeah,
but they could make a game similar to that.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like they'll maybe resurrect the game as such, but reskin it.
Yeah,
and so on.
See, I heard that there could be this could be like a Boba Fett story to kind of tie in with his film, which is due out in 2018.
Yes, 2016 Rogue One, 2017 Episode 8, 20.
Yeah. Because if they're announcing it now, we know that this game's probably only in development maybe 6 months at most. So you probably assume it's probably 2 years out. So that could tie in nicely. Obviously, we had Battlefront to tie in with Battlefront. I
really liked the Force Unleashed games. I thought they were great on the PS3. Really good games for their time. They
do not hold up well. If you look at them graphically wise, they have not aged well compared to some games. Only because I was watching something the other day and it was like, oh good god. Yeah. By comparison, obviously it's like some games they hold up significantly better.
Of course they do. It's the same with any game. Yeah. If you're interested, I don't know if this is still the case. If it's not, I apologise. But as part of Star Wars Day earlier this week, so May the 4th, they announced that the Force Unleashed were both going to be backwards compatible on Xbox One, Xbox 360, and they were both available for like £5 each.
It's not bad.
So maybe go and have a look, see if they're there. If they're not there anymore, then unlucky.
I had more fun with the second game than the first.
Yeah,
I think
they were good fun for what they were.
Yeah,
I think I might have played it on the Wii. Did it come on the Wii? The first one?
I don't know, but if you did, why?
I don't know. I think I played it at someone's house.
Oh,
right. We got Star Wars Lego this year as well.
So we got Star Wars Lego, which is going to be good. I think it's going to be fun.
The Lego game and the trailer's already been like, this might actually be the first Lego game I buy.
Yeah. They are.
That's in June, I think June or July. It's a summer game.
Yeah.
So obviously we have EA DICE is still working on Battlefront, probably a sequel, probably more DLC at the moment. There's going to be Rogue One DLC almost certainly.
How could there not be?
We know that EA Visceral is working on a game that's Amy Hennig, the former basically narrative director at Naughty Dog. She wrote Uncharted 2 and 3, so
I'm looking forward to that.
Pretty good CV.
She's got a decent CV. We also know that EA Motive are also lending a hand to that game, and that if Amy Hennig on her own is not enough, you've also got the former Assassin's Creed producer Jade Raymond working on it as well. So those are two huge names in the industry.
Yeah.
they can't muck up that game. So we could get, in theory, 2 very good third-person Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Maybe one more about a narrative, and then one more about the action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like your...
If we're getting 2 third-person games, I will go out on a limb and say one of them will not involve Jedi in the slightest.
Huh. Who do you reckon? What do you reckon? What angle do you reckon they go with?
Well, if you're saying Boba Fett for one,
yeah,
this is what I'm saying.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
If you're doing 2 third persons, you're not going to have both of them involving new Jedi lightsabery stuff. One will fill that quota, the other one will be a Star Warsy shooter.
Yeah,
more orientated.
We also obviously see BioWare still working on the Old Republic. Everyone going. Capital Games, another EA Studios, doing a free-to-play game called Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So basically, any type of Star Wars game you could want or need is basically covered.
Yeah.
Star Wars will continue to be rammed down your throat by Disney and EA with their partnership for the next 5 years at least.
Well, you know,
it's not going anywhere.
Seeing as they took away the expanded universe, they have to refill it.
To refill it with everything else again. So
there's a massive gap in people's
yeah.
It's like, this doesn't exist anymore. I need to fill it with new characters.
We've lost 20 years of canon, so let's do another 20 years in the next 5 years. A couple of games that we know are coming a little bit sooner than Amy Hennig's or Respawn's Star Wars games are Dishonored 2, coming November 11th. That's been confirmed now. This is follow-up to 2009 successful first-person Assassin's game. Really, really good game. We're going to see a gameplay premiere at E3, so look forward to that. We have seen trailers previously. The definitive edition of the first game is available on the new gens. You can probably pick it up for like a tenner.
And considering the fact that the internet is leaking like a sieve these days, we'll probably actually see something for gameplay beforehand.
It wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, it's definitely one to look out for this year if you're looking for something other than shooters. Then it's
how about a stabber?
Yeah. It was one of the best. The first one was one of the best games of its year when it came out. Yeah. So imagine this one to live up to similar hype. And even sooner than that, we have the long awaited Mighty Number 9. It's coming on June 21st. This is the one from Kenji Inafune. It was kickstarted almost 3 years ago now, and this game's kept being delayed, but it's finally coming. Unless you want the Vita or the 3DS version, because they're still coming at a later point. I.e. they're pretty much certainly dead now.
Everyone wants the Vita version of this.
Everyone wants the Vita version. I want the Vita version.
I think
it'd be
nice
a great version.
When you do see these,
I'm not doubting that. I just don't want no
Kickstarter
Vita users anymore.
These Kickstarter ideas that do eventually come to fruition, that eventually come to a release date, you think, well, it's good. It's good to see.
It is good. The problem with this particular one was that this guy who kickstarted this project really, really successful because Inafune, obviously the creator of Mega Man, so everyone loved him, was happy to see a spiritual successor to that, and then he went off and kickstarted like 2 other projects as well, and was helping work on Recall. He's just juggling so many different things, and then this game kept getting delayed. So people a bit, they're at their last kind of. I don't know. They're pretty pissed off. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That it's been delayed. So, I mean, I'm sure they'll be happy the game's coming out. Hopefully, it's good. But there's been such development issues with it. You kind of wonder whether or not it's going to maybe fall a little bit short. I don't know. I don't really care that much. And the final news item this week. You guys remember when we did that party chat about the Video Game Hall of Fame?
Yes.
So there was a list of 15 video games that were finalists for that year. We now know which games have actually made it into the Hall of Fame, and we were all wrong with our predictions. Based on the fact that none of us picked the Oregon Trail, which did get in.
Yeah.
So the Oregon Trail was in there, along with GTA 3, The Legend of Zelda, The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Space Invaders. I think we all picked Space Invaders.
Yeah.
I think we all picked Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
I think we all picked Minecraft and that.
I think we all picked Minecraft.
We thought Minecraft.
Yeah, so the ones that didn't make it were Elite, Final Fantasy, John Madden Football, Minecraft, Nürburgring, Pokemon Red and Green, Sid Meier's Civilization, Street Fighter 2, and Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
So I think you might have picked Civilization as well from memory. I can't.
I was just having a look to see if I'd actually put that in the notes.
Because I remember saying that we thought Civilization might beat The Sims because Civilization inspired The Sims, and therefore.
Yeah.
But I think it's not necessarily about
the order in which they were done.
Yeah, because the way obviously video games work is everything is going to be inspired by very few things at the start.
Yeah.
Like if you look at any musical artist today, they're probably nearly all inspired by either Elvis Presley or like the Beatles, or maybe just
or
a couple
the first man who ever made a drum.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I know what you mean. It's what you do with that inspiration,
Yeah.
and then
Exactly.
that creative input you have to then make it better.
Mm-hmm.
So even if someone was to come along and take the idea of something original like Space Invaders, make it better, and it could effectively be a bigger and better game than Space Invaders ever was. I don't know.
Yeah,
But, I know what you're saying.
I think I agree with. I mean, Oregon Trail, you said, was like a huge educational thing at the time.
I think they still play
It's
it.
a big American thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Oregon's like up here in the top left of
Where?
up there. Can you see it?
No.
It's right there. Of the country. It's kind of a part of
Little bit
America that I've never really been near. Not because I don't want to, but
It's squished happily between Washington and California.
nicely out of the way. But yeah, all the others on the list, I think we can agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
No arguments of games that.
I think, as we said in the original conversation, that all the games really, I think, deservedly should have been on the finalist list anyway. I don't think there are any there that we could say that were rubbish games. All clearly are there for a very good reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's good, and we'll be good to follow that year on year just to see what we see next year.
It is good. Good that video games are starting to be recognised in a kind of a more official kind of medium.
Yeah.
So that's it on the news. Quite a long week of news this week. Obviously top heavy with the shooters and then the Star Wars stuff and the Spider-Man. We have some video games for you this week. Kind of just starting to build up for May now. The first big release of May is out in the form of Battleborn on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One and the PC. This is the video game from Gearbox. It's kind of a first-person shooter /
Melee.
MOBA / melee / RPG.
I think really if you look at it on a very, very basic term of if you mashed Destiny together with Borderlands, is the vibe I was roughly getting.
Yeah,
I can see where you come from.
It's a lot of people. Yeah, they made it very clear because everyone thought it initially it was going to be a MOBA, and everyone was like, when they wanted to make it clear that it wasn't a MOBA.
Yeah.
I don't know how well it's going to sell. I played the beta when it was there, and 20 minutes in, I was like, yeah, I don't really get this. I'm going to stop playing now.
Yeah, well, you've just got your different characters with different abilities, and obviously some characters and their powers or abilities or weapons or whatever do suit better for different situations. I think that's the key. It's about having these group of players with different set of skills and being able to use it. So there's almost a bit of strategy involved in the game as well, I think. I like the concept. I think knowing that what the sort of story is behind it, there seems to be a bit of a sort of commentary as well from it.
Yeah, there's similar to in Borderlands there was that kind of overarching humour to it, and that's evidence in this game as well. It's scoring perfectly well. It's getting good to great reviews.
Yeah.
So I just wonder how well it's kind of difficult. It's kind of like a mixed message. It's difficult to see who this game is exactly aimed at. That's the thing I worry about.
True.
Like, I mean, are you picking it up?
No, purely because of next week.
I was going to say there's a certain game coming out in a couple of days.
Yeah,
I'm not picking it up, and you're not picking it up. So,
yeah.
0 for 3 Gearbox on this table, which is pretty much a really good indicator of the success of the game worldwide. This table, I'd say. Yeah.
No.
Agreed.
If you can convince Ash to buy it, then it'll at least do all right. If you can convince two of us, it will do fine.
There's not a lot I don't buy, but yeah.
That's my point. It's like if
even if you're not buying it,
I
it's
know,
like, well,
I know.
Yeah, not to be insulting or anything, but it's like if it's not making it onto your catalogue,
Exactly.
then
whose
that's
catalogue
it.
is it?
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll do fine. I just don't think it will do crazy numbers. We have The Park on PS4 and Xbox One. This is another kind of psychological horror walking simulator kind of video game. That's the new genre that people are calling it. I don't really like the phrase walking simulator because it makes it sound a bit dull and dreary, but it's basically set in a theme park, really darkly scary. There's some warnings in here about how actually there's some disturbing things going on in this game, apparently. I haven't seen it. It's about 90 minutes long, 10 quid, so price of a movie for length of a movie. If you like horror, maybe one for you.
Yeah.
I quite like the look of it. I might pick it up.
Yeah, I like the look of this game.
Super Hot, Xbox One. We've talked about this previously before. It's first-person shooter with a little bit of a difference, Dan, isn't it? It's
it's where time will only move as you move.
So basically, if you don't move, nothing ever happens. So that means you don't need to pause the game if you need to get a drink because you won't die when you walk away.
I assume so. I'm not playing the game in a whole. I don't know if there's a timer. So it's to stop you from just sitting in the level for forever.
Yeah. Well, what would be the point though?
That's my point.
Yeah, I'm not dying.
I don't think there is.
I don't know if there's something that's meant to incentivize you to move.
There seems
to speed up your thought process, because I imagine to the point it's you need to try and get your strategy down, which is fair enough.
It's like a puzzle game in a way.
It is. Initially, I thought this was just going to be a multiplayer shooter only, but apparently it's got a single player, even campaign story element to it. So didn't realise that. But it looks cool. I like the concept. It's something different. We always like to see something different here. So if you're intrigued, go and support it. Shadow Complex Remastered comes to the PS4. We saw this on Xbox One and PC previously. An old school Metroidvania game being re-released. Came out a few years ago originally on Xbox 360. Really good game. Really, really good game. I think fans of the genre, it's a must-buy. If you've only got a PS4, then obviously now's your chance to get it. I don't know if this is one that either of you are going to pick up.
Never played it.
I might do because I've not played it before.
It is critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
And I do hear a lot of people talking about it and how good it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, next up is possibly the funnest game of the week. Is Coffin Dodgers on PS4 and Xbox One. It's a little kart racer, but the difference is you're kind of old people on mobility scooters, and they have to avoid death is basically coming for them.
Yeah,
he's part of the race.
He's part of it. Yeah, and if you I think if death beats you in the race, then you die.
Yeah, I love the name, and I love.
Yeah,
the actual game.
When I saw the name and then watched the trailer, I was like, that's
I watched you watching it before, and I saw you give a little snigger to yourself.
Yeah, it's good because it's another kart racer, which is fair enough when you have your weapons and stuff like that. But it also reminds me a little bit of Road Rash in one sense because it's got the melee stuff as well.
Yeah, hitting them with the walks and stuff. Yeah.
So it's just it just adds that. We always say little difference. Yeah, and that's that little difference in this one.
Humour.
It's not just the long range kind of weapons that you get in every single kart
race. Yeah,
racer.
Yeah. It is good.
Something else.
Another horror game up next on PS4 and Vita is Neverending Nightmares. This game looks creepy as hell.
Do you know
it's
what?
Another psychological thriller, again, side-scrolling, and
This is that game where when you're on the night flight back from America, back home after a holiday, and the lights all out and you're doing the overnighter, everyone else around you is asleep, on your Vita, headphones, this is the game.
This is the game.
Yeah, this is the game.
It's what, so you can wake everyone else up?
Yeah. Screaming.
Just to make sure you've got a whole load of horror games so you can just scream.
That's going to be the thing in the future, isn't it? When people are going to be taking VR headsets on planes. That's going to be the future.
There's just going to be someone there going, ah!
It won't be long before they're
motion controllers in the hand,
punching their people next to them.
It does look like a creepy game.
It's the art style adds to the creepiness.
It does.
Because it's got the sketchbook.
Art style, it's all sketch black and white. But you'll see the blood
some bits
very, very, very easily.
Yeah, so black and white and red. It's creepy as hell. A few more games we'll just kind of brush over. Well, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter on Xbox One. It's a detective, another Sherlock Holmes game. Not really anything I want to add to this. If you like detective games, maybe it's one for you.
Yeah, it's probably more of a story. Yeah, well, it's a sort of story, mystery.
It's another one where Sherlock can accuse the wrong person.
Yeah. It's what you would expect from a Sherlock Holmes game.
PS4, we've got Koi. So there's a reason why this game is interesting. This is actually the very first game to ever be released by a Chinese developer. So it's obviously a big breakthrough for them because China weren't normally allowed to do things for people outside of their country.
It's all, kept within.
Less than manufacturing.
Yes. So this just looks like you're following a koi fish around. It looks like quite relaxing and like kind of almost like a therapeutic game, doesn't it? Doesn't really seem like there's a huge amount to do.
Yeah.
To be honest, when I first started watching it, I wondered if it was going to end up being almost like Agario and Slitherio, or like those games where you start really small and you're eating others and you're growing and you're growing. I thought that's what it was going to be, basically like big fish, small pond kind of idea. But no,
the Chinese have clearly realised their economy is so poor that they do actually need to export certain other things.
And koi is at the top of their list. Then we have
start somewhere.
Another equally weird game.
Yeah.
Push Me, Pull You on the PS4. Dan, do you want to explain the premise of this game?
Well, it's basically controlling two ends of a very, very stretchy individual.
It's a human centipede style.
Kind of, except you're facing the opposite directions rather than,
Yeah, you're ass to ass rather than face to ass.
Yeah. Put it simply.
Yeah.
And the idea is to control a ball in your half of a circle for the whole
so fucking
however
weird.
time it is.
It is so weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Funny though, I would imagine it's because it's a 2-on-2 game, so local multiplayer, 4-player. I'd imagine it is a lot of fun to have.
I can imagine. Do you remember the cartoon Cat Dog?
Yeah.
I can imagine that's the sport they would play.
Yeah. Maybe there was some kids that were watching that on Nickelodeon growing up and go, one day I'm going to make a video game and this cartoon is going to inspire me somehow. And maybe it is.
Maybe.
Just a couple more rounding out list. We've got Corridor Z, PS4 and Vita. It's just another kind of horror zombie kind of game. It doesn't really intrigue me. We have too many of them.
Yeah.
And I think it's even the third best horror game of the week.
It probably is.
Which out of 3 is
not good.
Not good. And then we've got Askent 2, The World Beneath on PS4, Xbox One and Vita. It's basically another one of these Bejeweled kind of games. It's an iOS game that comes to consoles. If you like these type of games, fair enough, but
play them on your phone.
There's a reason it's last on the list this week.
Yeah.
So what do we want to pick as our game of the week this week? Ash, I'll go to you first.
It's probably... I'm probably going to go with The Park.
Yeah.
I like the look of The Park. I mean, I like my sort of horror games anyway. I know we've got a few to choose from this week, but I like the look of The Park. It's not too long a game. It's one that I can probably get through quite quickly. And given that Uncharted's around the corner, I'd need something quite short. So I'd go for a shorter game this week.
90 minutes and you're done, like you said. Exactly. It's one that you can enjoy.
Exactly.
It's getting good reviews as well. Again, across the board, like 7s and 8s, so decent enough. Dan?
Whether I'd pick it up this week or not, I don't know, but I'm actually looking at Shadow Complex properly rather than just saying this is a pick. This is one that I'm actually thinking I'm going to get.
Now that you have the opportunity to be able to,
Just because like so many people talk about it and say, oh, that was a great game. It's like, and I didn't play it when it was originally out.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a good choice. It's one I might actually consider, because I didn't buy the remaster on Xbox One.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, now there's trophies involved. Maybe there's an incentive here to play again. Because I don't really care about achievement points, but I do care about trophies. I think this week I've got to represent it somewhere. One of us has to. Coffin Dodgers.
That was. I was thinking.
I mean, Super Hot looks really intriguing, but Coffin Dodgers I think is going to just about edge it this week. Just because sometimes you just need a game that is just a video game. It's just fun, and that's all you ask for. Whether or not it actually plays well, I haven't seen any reviews, so for all I know, you could ask it to turn left and it turns right. It might be horrendously bad, but the premise is fun and enjoyable.
I like it. Yeah,
so
there's humour there, it's got a good name.
Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly. There's nothing more fun than old people trying to beat other old people with sticks. So that's it for this week. A little bit longer than usual, as I said, with the news we had at the top end of the show. But I hope you've all enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave your comments below. Let us know what you think about the new Battlefield, the new Call of Duty. Do you think Sucker Punch are making a Spider-Man game?
Do you think they're changing their name to Sucker Punk?
I think they should.
Sucker Punch and Spider-Man together, I suppose, is quite difficult to say.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say it like that, though, would you? Just people would know it's Sony. And let us know if you're playing Battleborn and why we should care about it, because I haven't heard anyone convince me so far. But for now, thanks for watching. Dan, Ash, thank you for joining as always.
Cheers, guys.
And everyone out there, we will see you all next time.